Today we're going to go over 5 prepping items that you should buy in case of a long-term emergency. First off, we have a cast iron skillet. The cowboys used to always carry this heavy thing around with them because it's very versatile. You can fry in it, make stew in it, and bake with it. The other thing I like is that it's extremely durable. You can throw it around and not worry about it breaking, and you also don't have to worry about melting the handle because it isn't made of plastic. You can just put it directly over a fire. It's the perfect piece of cookware for survival and long-term emergencies. It will cost you about $30 to buy one, so it's something everyone who's serious about prepping should have. Next is books. These serve 2 purposes, entertainment and education. You can stock up on fiction books for you and your kids because when you're done doing your daily chores, you will be bored. So you want something to keep your mind occupied and bring you a little bit of happiness. I would keep lots of books at home and then even go as far as keeping 1 book in my bug out bag. You also need books on prepping and survival. Although the best thing to do is learn everything in advance before the collapse, but there still might be certain skills that you don't know or haven't perfected, so looking at survival books might be something that you have to do. Maybe you have to look at a picture of a certain mushroom to see if it's safe to eat, or look at how to make a certain shelter, or making a trap for small game. It could be a variety of things. Melatonin. You should consider stocking up on at least 1 bottle of melatonin. After the collapse, it may get very stressful, and I know for a fact that many people will have trouble sleeping. So taking melatonin can help you sleep, and at least for me, when I wake up after taking melatonin, I feel really refreshed and well rested. Next is trauma shears or medical shears. These are designed for quickly cutting clothing when you're treating someone. Say someone has a chest wound and you want to provide them first aid, but their hoodie or shirt is getting in the way. You can't start lifting them up and trying to pull their shirt off because it can make their injury worse. And you don't know if they may have other injuries like spinal injuries, and you could do even more damage. You can use the trauma shears to quickly cut the clothing and get it out of the way so you can start treating them. You could try and buy some cheap scissors, but they don't cut nearly as well as proper trauma shears. Trauma shears are designed to cut through thick clothing. Some of them are so well made that they can even cut through a quarter. These will usually cost you about $20, so they aren't really expensive at all, so everyone should have one. Oximeter. This is a very important device. A lot of the times when people get really sick with some sort of infection or throat problem, they feel like they can't breathe, and in some cases it's all in their head and they're just panicking. But in some cases it's a real issue where they actually have a lower oxygen saturation level, which indicates a problem with lung function or oxygen delivery to the body's tissues. And it could actually be a sign of pneumonia or COPD. The way it works is you power it on and you put it on your finger, and it basically just checks your oxygen level. And if it's above 95%, it's considered normal. If it's under 95%, then there's a problem. You need this for scenarios when it's a long-term disaster and you get sick, but there are no hospitals or doctors available. If you get sick and you feel like you can't breathe, you can at least check your oxygen to see if it's a legit problem and you need to do something about it, or if your oxygen levels are fine and you can relax. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Don't forget to like and follow.